Hello and welcome
Just
to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 14, Week 2. Today, you got me, and you got your girlfriend's favorite Dota 2 player, Ocelot, and it's just us this time.
Team ban.
you've been using the girlfriend's favorite thing a lot recently. Is that
That's
there's
your
no
that's
story
your
behind that?
equivalent of the Doctor of Dota for Randy. Except, like, I can't. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that so comfortably in game. I'm not going to be able to be like, so you're the switch giver, right? That doesn't work.
Oh no.
As a
Speaking of
cucker,
oh no,
interesting. First ban on
10
Timbersaw.
seconds
You would not expect to see that normally. I don't know.
you think that's a comfort ban?
Yeah, it's definitely. Also getting rid of the Dawnbreaker here. Dawnbreaker is, of course, very good right now, so
I
less
think that
surprising.
Kunkka ban is very telling. Really, is Ogre worth a ban right now?
Hey, when I played this week, and by the way, I don't think I did tell you this. I stood in this week. If you're wondering why there was no live game, I was doing that.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Tough times.
Yeah, we were literally so low on stand-ins that that I actually had to step in myself and do the job, and we went 2-0. So there you go. If you were wondering how I would do, not only did we go 2-0 in game 2, I got first blood. So how about that?
Yeah, that's what happens when they throw you in a lane. Shit.
First pick Marcy, which is not surprising. Legitimately, I think like almost.
Profit.
Yep. DP's kind of good again. Well, at least people are picking her again. Good.
Well, I mean, that silence
kinda...
of hers is really impressive, and she does have nukes that are not quite on the same scale as Lena's upper end, but she can pretty consistently throw out waves of damage. Good for creep clear, defense, sieging uphill, even. Pretty strong at it.
So far, I think we've seen one game total where we haven't had a first pick Marcy.
Yeah, I could do without that for a while.
I think we
Laverne
all could.
pick.
Interesting. Yeah, that's I mean, Winter Laverne is just a really good Marcy counter. If Marcy is ulted and you use the Winter's Curse on somebody near Marcy, they're basically just dead.
10 seconds remaining.
Guaranteed.
If there's anything I have to really apply as a
5 seconds
mental note
remaining.
whenever I see a Wyvern on the enemy team is, oh man, do I need to stay away from anyone squishy if I'm a strong right-click hitter? Or, oh boy, I need to stay away from our strong right-click hitter if I'm the squishy one. Now, most people say you gotta hit the carry with this and have his team beat him up, or the other way around, have their carry beat up someone on their team, but I like to drop it on the carry just because it helps set up better ults on him.
I mean, realistically,
10 seconds remaining.
like if you drop it on a carry, you're less likely to get a kill. Like the support is who
seconds
you drop it on if you want a guaranteed kill, but the carry can be pretty much forced into a route very, very quickly. I do think it is often understated.
Once upon a time where we had it was a Monkey King 1 on the enemy team, and rather surprisingly a PA 2, and I was playing with Vern, and I just hit him. I hit the Monkey King with PA next to him, and PA proceeded to get 6 crits in a row.
Ouch.
And I had Solar Crest rushed that game. That was an easy kill.
Remaining.
No Shadow Fiend, no Medusa. This is very
5
interesting
seconds
stuff.
remaining.
Void Spirit here is a good pick, I think. Not only is it a classic London hero, which also is, by the way, why we had that first ban Kunkka. When the Bean 10 took on the Crusader Knights back in week 1, I did definitely make sure to say, okay, we're getting rid of the Kunkka. No matter what we do, we're getting rid of the Kunkka. It's so antithetical to our team's playstyle, and London plays it very, very well. He did get his
Kunkka is scary. But I think there's one hero that could be a good rival to Kunkka's potential. Disruptor. Ever present. He's almost universally good in nearly every patch, I find.
Right.
The only real issue with him is that his ult is extremely punishing to miss.
Yeah, against a hero like Kunkka, who's very positioning, like, very important positioning-wise, very important timing-wise, an ult like that, even if Kunkka doesn't eat the full of it, can really, really disrupt his ability to fight.
10
The
seconds
shield,
remaining.
the little barrier, can interrupt his ability to fight. I used to call it the arena, but now
5
we have Mars
seconds
in the game, so I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, right. Weird how new stuff like that in the game just changes old terminology, even personal terminology. Speaking of big ass AOE ults that really suck to get caught in, Void is no longer on the menu.
That's very interesting. I don't think I would have gone for a Void ban when I have DP on my team. It's very, very antithetical to how he plays.
Wyvern also shuts down Void, so I don't think you'd even have to worry about him.
Here's the big thing with Void, right? The big weakness to Void right now is Roche, right? Like, it's very binary. If your team can secure Roche, Faceless Void is a pretty good pick for you. If your team is weak to Roche, right? If the enemy team can, like, counter any Roche attempt and can do Roche easily themselves, then Void ain't so great, right?
Yeah.
Which, with the DP is like maybe the ultimate Void counter. I think maybe that's why she's being picked so frequently, because people are looking at Void a lot right now. In that, you know, the Death Prophet ult both makes Roche Pit securing and taking very easy, and can totally screw over a Chrono. I mean, there is no blue ball to a Chrono quite as large as a bunch of ghosts eating you while you're in it.
Yeah, no, those things don't care. You know what's actually my favorite low-key combo with Wyvern?
What's that?
It's not very well sold on. I haven't seen a lot of people really agree with me on this, but I like having a Clockwork and a Wyvern on the same team. Just because the second someone's about to come out of their, excuse me, Winter's Curse, also, hey, Night Stalker pick. Just because when you're about to come out of that Winter's Curse, you can get caught in the arena and with the battery assault, and the cogs are already up, and if anyone tries to stop it, they're just gonna get away. It is surprisingly effective, and wow, speaking of surprisingly effective, Night Stalker when there's an Undying on the enemy team, oof.
That could be interesting. It really depends on how effectively Night Stalker's able to actually crash the party. Like, if Night Stalker's
Nighttime is going to be bad for Undying, but if he's ever caught out during the day, oh my god, he's not going to exist past 3 uses of that decay.
Right. It's going to be interesting to see. It's definitely going to be down to execution more than anything in this lineup, I think. So far, isn't really a great argument that's going to stop Night Stalker from just breaking through everything, and just getting up in Undying's face and just eating him. Or, for that matter, Void Spirit and Marcy.
You know, looking at it now, I mentioned Clockwork earlier, but I think they could get away with it over on Crusader Knights, maybe. They're lacking in range, but I like it on them. If you can trap someone like Death Prophet and Cogs, ooh, never mind the range bit.
That's actually a pretty good argument for Clockwork, the Drow Ranger picks.
Night Stalker and Wyvern don't really care about Cogs, unfortunately, because they can literally just fly on demand over it. But
oh, you were saying for Crusader Knights. Okay, I thought you were saying for Dragon Ball Zeus.
Yeah,
it shows you where my mind is at. I actually think Clockwork is a really solid pick here for DBZ. I mean, they need to one, they'll be picking it last.
I felt before the Drow was picked they would have been good on either, but now I think that DBZ is actually going to want that because Drow doesn't have a lot to deal with Clockwork.
Nope. Now, it's going to make him kind of weak to the Undying, but hopefully that's what they have the Night Stalker for. But we are not going to go that way. We're going to pick up the Lena instead.
Mentioned it earlier. So, okay, I'd just like to illustrate that between Splinter Blast, Death Prophet's stupid Crypt Swarm, Night Stalker's Q, and Lena's everything. These guys might as well have a team full of Zeus, because god, that is some spammy magic damage.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for Crusader Knights here to pick up a Pause 3, which I assume they're going to be doing last. Most people seem to like Undying support right now. It could be an Undying 3. I don't know. But, Crusader Knights definitely wants to pick up somebody who's going to have no issue buying up items like Pipe, buying up items like, you know, the potentially Orchid, for example. Have some sort of silence, have some sort of innate magic resistance.
I really should have seen it coming, actually, with how they're banning all these tanky heroes. They want to have a squishy lineup to bully the fuck out of.
Right.
Pardon my French.
No Ursa, by the way.
Yeah, no, again, they, both teams here just don't want anyone tanky to deal with, and I guess Shadow Fiend, because, you know, his ultimate is incredibly disruptive.
Yeah, that's true, if you really look. Basically, the only exceptions to the really tanky hero rule on either lineup's ban list are the Kunkka and the Shadow Fan.
I don't know.
Everybody
Kunkka's boat makes everyone tanky, even
That's true,
temporarily.
yeah. It is temporary, but
Have
that
you
is
ever
true.
tried to kill a Spectre under the effect of Kunkka's boat? Oh no, dude, you've never pulled it off.
You don't know me.
Dude, I match with your games like 6 to 1.
you are you are in like 60 to 70% of my games, but you don't know me.
Sure, alright. Alright, speaking of what we don't know, well, here's what we do know. They're going to need to pick a really strong 1 over on Dragon Ball Zeus
10
unless they're taking that for
seconds
Lina.
remaining.
I don't think Lina's safe enough to go for a 1 position consistently at this
No.
point in the meta.
Seconds remaining.
She can definitely do damage, but the second she's caught, she has no it's not like Drow where she can just silence you, push you away, or maybe go for a really quick kill. She kind of has to she has to commit first. She has to drop her spells, and then she can go for the rapid fire.
Right.
It's really, I don't know. What do you think we're going to see here? Because they've got all these squishy heroes and these tank killers on both
10
sides
seconds remaining.
locked down. I don't know what the hell they could pick at this point. I can't really...
5
Wait, no.
seconds remaining.
What are you thinking about... Okay, hear me out. They've got all this, like, murder initiate. Do you think they're going to pick a Dark Willow?
On which side?
Crusader Knights.
They got 2 seconds to think about it. No, they're gonna get punched.
No, the fat man. Yeah, they want that Ags. They're
Who
going to want
doesn't?
that this game.
Who doesn't?
No,
By the way-
Dragon Ball Zeus, if it's not going to be... Well,
I tell you who I like on DBZ. I think they're going to need somebody like this. Are you ready? What they need is Chaos
10
Knight.
seconds remaining.
Needs to not lane
I-
against Drow, but
I
5
mostly
seconds
agree,
remaining.
but I don't think CK would be smart against Undying and Void Spirit.
the thing is with Undying is that the CK actually totally screws with Undying, and let me tell you why. Undying is the master of long fights. CK is the master of forcing short fights. He can come in and wipe you off the face of the earth in just a second flat, right? He does not need long prep. He just needs to hit ult, hit you, and you're done. Which means he's very quick to, he's going to very quickly have disposable flunkies to go beat up the tombstone. He's not going to take many decay stacks. So CK against Undying should work fine unless something is going really
if he
wrong
gets
for you.
if Undying gets Agged, it's going to be a problem because
Keep in mind they did just nerf the Undying Ags.
that's true. That thing was really, really oppressive in like 80% of the games it got picked up in.
It's true.
Okay, this
That-
last pick. Oh,
Got Luna?
Luna. I don't think I agree with that.
No, I don't like it.
I do like one aspect of it. If they manage to get to uphill, if they manage to break any of those tier 3s, they win. Those bouncing glaives will absolutely dismantle their base. If they can't force uphill fights, because Wyvern, what are you going to try to do to stop an uphill push? Wyvern is a huge deterrent on offense and defense for counter pushing. And Death Prophet's going to let them do... Yeah, actually, I think that's their strategy. Lina has some of the longest attack range in the game. Death Prophet's ghosts can keep everything pushed consistently from safe range. And if you try to counter push, Wyvern can set up with an ult, and Luna can just get Ags and just drop a satellite cannon on someone's head. And Night Stalker is just there for flavor and a bully.
10 seconds
They have a
remaining.
lot of really... this is sort of like a push and pull kind of thing, where
5
they can bait the team
seconds
into
remaining.
pushing out, and the second they commit to it over on Dragon Ball Zeus, they can absolutely steamroll over them if they miss up their initiation. Whereas on Crusader Knights, looking at their lineup, they're built to, I wouldn't say survive a lot of this. I think they're just trying their best with safe picks. I don't know if they have a flow and function to their setup here yet, but we're gonna have to find out, huh?
Here's the big issue that I have with this whole scenario. Luna is very, very squishy at basically all points in the game. Not like the squishiest hero in the world, but she's a hero where, with enough pressure put on top of her head, she's just gonna crack, right? Lina...
Yeah, she can't exactly take on the whole team.
Lina is also very, very squishy. Very much one of the archetypical glass cannons in Dota 2. And I tell you, a hero who's really, really good at getting rid of squishy heroes is the Fat Man Pudge. I've seen Vex play
Yeah.
Pudge. Vex is a good Pudge, alright? And this guy is going to be very impressive in this game. It's going to be very hard for the core lineup on DBZ to be able to stand up to sustain use of Undying skills. They do have the Luna, who's going to help, and the Lina, who are going to be able to deal with the Tombstone, but For Lina, that's a distraction in the fight, and for Luna, she is going to be losing damage outside of her ult while she's doing that. You don't, you know, you have the ability with the Moonglaze to bounce to targets, but you don't really want to be bouncing when you could be doing the full damage to somebody, right? You're missing out on that
Prepare for
ability.
battle.
And perhaps most notably, there is absolutely no answer to the Void Spirit on this entire lineup. And I know Void Spirit isn't the, like, meta dominator that perhaps he once was, but I think in this particular game, and being played by London, who we know is a good Void Spirit player, he has a lot of ability to be a major agent of chaos. The only thing that he is going to be stopping him is Night Stalker. But imagine how much his on poor Rod has played this game, because Night Stalker is the only real long-term satisfying answer to the following heroes: Drow Ranger, Pudge, Void Spirit, and Marcy.
Alright. Let's see what we got going on here.
It's going to be a very large plate for Night Stalker, and honestly, even like a super baller, like if it was like Godlike Matt or Vex or somebody we know that's like a very, very big time Night Stalker player, I think they would still kind of struggle with this many jobs in this game. But I think most importantly of all, the biggest, most important thing of all though, who's going to close in with Drow? Who's going to stop that ult from being a thing? They really don't have anybody to do it. The best hope they got is to Wyvern ult somebody and then just rush up to, like, Wyvern ult either Drow or somebody in range of Drow and then run up to her. That's literally all they got, basically. They don't really have...
The biggest risk I could see here is Marcy putting her buff on someone at the wrong time, and it's like Drow, for example, and having Wyvern ult literally anyone like Void Spirit, Pudge, or Undying, and just have them instantly melt and screw their team fight.
Right.
It's a slippery slope. You have to be very careful of how much you're scaling. Like, you can't let one particular person get too powerful, because then they can just have their team dogpile them, or have them just turn around and instantly smite someone on their own side. Wyvern's a very scary dynamic to face off against.
That's true,
dynamic, seems like Wyvern's going for some harass here. Ooh, nice hook.
It's gonna be hard to get much harass in this lane. Pudge is going to basically be able to either beat her or eat the Luna. So while we're looking at this, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the game. It's time for the roll call. So, for Crusader Knights Pause 1, we've got Kai, sponsored by Riot Games, on the Drow Ranger, who is, in a bit of a pickle here. Bliss definitely needs to be close in on this lane, or else they're just going to eat Drow, basically. This might... No, I don't think Rhoda's gonna get first blood here. Ooh, no, okay. Just has to turn around in the face of the Undying. Ooh, this could be
early
an equally sized turnaround. This is level 2.
Uh-oh. She might have overestimated her ability to kill the Tombstone. Nah,
Nope.
Sobi died.
Pulling
Bit of a
creeps.
shame that, but it definitely got, okay. I was a little worried there for a second. I thought that Drow was, gonna get jumped on.
Holy crap, look at that inventory.
Mangoes. You know...
Anyway, funny combat music? Where? Oh, it was Drow. Or, not Drow, Luna, who just got, booked by a
You have a
sword.
trained ear, Anani. Funny combat music.
Yep. Yeah, that's how you always know. You know something epic's about to happen when you hear the funny... Yeah, this is just horrible. Horrible dynamic here for boss to deal with. This is going to be a rare thing to say, but I don't think Molsky can pull in this lane, like, at all. Like, every time Molsky goes to try and pull, something like that is very liable to happen, and Luna is not going to be able to stand up to it. Anyway, as I was saying, Pause 1, Kai, Drow Ranger, you know by now. Pause 2, Captain of the team, you got London on the Void Spirit. Pause 3, you got Vex, former stand-in champion, Vex, on the Pudge. Pause 4, you got Dusty, former stood-in-for champion, on the Marcy. And pause 5, you've got Bliss, who used to rhyme with Chris, but now rhymes with nothing on Undying. Looks like he might be up to something again here.
Yep, more decay, but he's out of MP. He's gonna eat some of those mangoes. No, he's just
Nah,
here to...
he's
He's just
holding
here
off
to
on that
instill a
till
bit of fear.
he's holding off on that till at least the CDs come up. Meanwhile, on Dragon Ball Zeus, pause 1, you've got, and by the way, this is our first Dragon Ball Zeus game. I'm going to be recording some of the Week 1 games when Ocelot steps out, so later tonight, we'll probably be seeing them. But this is our first time seeing Dragon Ball Zeus. We're seeing this before our Week 1 game.
Has been killed.
Pause 1, we got Boss. We got the Boss, former stand-in champion as well, but in a different way. Not the champion among stand-ins, but a stand-in on a champion team, playing the Luna. Pause 2, we've got RG, captain of the team, as Goku. That's Goku. What did I just say? As Lena.
I mean, let's be real. That ultimate is legally distinct for a reason.
Goodbye, Rada, who is pause 3, former champion captain. Oh, goodbye Luna as well.
Yeah,
Action
no, that
happening
was
every lane.
simultaneous.
Uh-oh. Oh, this would suck.
Hyper aggressive. I like it. Oh no! Marcy paid for a green.
Yeah.
Wait, is she gonna get? No, he doesn't have hook off cooldown. Yes, actually, back up here. He might die.
Yeah, the creep wave came at a very awkward time for this. So that creep wave wasn't here. This is actually probably the end of Molsky.
Timely use of that. Do you really want to be this close to Wyvern, who might level at any moment? Uh-oh.
Ooh. Marcy coming in.
The fat man lives another day.
Actually elects not to. Okay, now elects to throw Molsky here. Who's getting
Nice.
hooked under
Oh.
tower? Goodbye, Molsky. Another kill for this offline.
Expertly done.
Call me a homer if you must. I think the best offlane in this season is probably the offlane seen on Bean 10.
Radiant's turret
But I
has
think
been
there's a
killed.
very close second place, and I think it's the Crusader Knights offlane. These two, very good. By the way, rip DP randomly at bot.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Let's take
sure
a look
that
at
one
that
was to the effect of, yeah, that was,
Just got a little greedy looking for the courier.
yeah, that multi-shot definitely hurts.
Anyway, the pause 3 is Rada. He died when we called him. We called him, and Scotty died when we were about to call him for pause 4. Interesting, Scotty pause 4. I did not expect that with the ways the lineup went this season. And finally, pause 5. You've got the Molsky here. 1-up Molsky, 1-up on the Winnow Wyvern, who is kind of watching Luna die again. Oh man, that was a good dodge by the boss. Who's gonna melt? Pudge already has a hood!
That is absolutely terrifying. That is an advantage they can't afford to have him pressing on them.
Molsky is gonna
Burn
get
my
away,
counters.
courtesy of a full magic wand. Maybe not!
No! Ooh, the aggressive take.
Wow. Dusty, fearless here. Something interesting you get when you get two pause 3 players in the same lane together is
Ugh.
you get a very fearless lane.
Almost feel like we need 2 sets of eyes here. Maybe even
Right.
3. Each lane is just hotly contested. Another
That's true.
tombstone drop. This is going to be another dead death prophet. Barely kills the tombstone in time to save himself, but it doesn't matter because Drow got the advantage.
Yeah, that's a good come in at the last second by Drow here.
This is a meat grinder. Dyer's getting flushed again.
I didn't
We
even
just
see
lost
this happen.
Lena in mid.
Oh, it's a rotation
Void
here.
Spirit gets a
Dusty
really-
eats the first Lena ult and
Yep.
doesn't care. Goodbye. So in the last fight, for those of you who looked away, here's a brief rundown of the situation. Undying drops Tombstone. DP's very low. Both DP and Night Stalker turn around to try and kill Tombstone. Tombstone kills DP before it goes down. The moment that Night Stalker finally kills the Tombstone, never misclicked more in my life. Finally, the moment Night Stalker finally kills the Tombstone, Kai, Drow Ranger, who had very, very low health, comes in with the multi-shot, gets the last kill. Very last arrow, too, I believe, so very good timing on that.
More tower dive action.
The Crusader Knights off lane is so confident at this point. They're just diving way under T1 here.
They are really confident they can do something with it.
Kills happening in bot lane while this is going on.
Scotty gets a bit of revenge on Undying.
Death Prophet taking a fall there. Well, since it seems... Oh, never mind.
Ooh.
Fresh meat, first Pudge ult in the game. Gets interrupted by Boss, who gets the kill.
Yeah, it doesn't take the tower shots too well. And Marcy goes in for the kill. This aggression, I don't know if this is warranted. Are they just trying to fish up some early stacks for Pudge?
Yes. The answer to that question is yes. Always yes. Action happening in every lane, by the way. First night, Night Stalker dives.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're trying to make us look bad, man.
It's true. Need multigan did its TI. But Dusty is in very deep here. He has no TP and his courier's dead.
Wow. Just wow.
This is a very tense situation that Dusty's in. He took a tower shot. Luna knows. Luna's closing.
She's
Marcy
got
can't go
really
back to
high
the lane
base
anymore.
movement. She can't get
Middle
away.
tower is under attack.
Oh no.
That's curtains.
Goodbye, Marcy.
Pathetic.
Pathetic!
Disgusting!
That should be a
Lost
Luna
in the
kill
woods,
line.
are ya?
She really was! It's the most appropriate use of that voice command in history. This, if there's a bloodier lane phase in this entire season, I'm gonna be very surprised.
Lost in the woods, are you? Oh, man.
Oh, mama.
That is...
Let's step back from
Oh.
the action here and try to think about,
Oh,
we're gonna be
man,
switching to
my
the net
answer
worth. We're gonna be switching to the net worth column early here. Step back for a moment and think about how this is kind of went. Luna did get a revenge kill here at the end of lane phase, but Pudge is walking out of this with the second highest net worth in the server and 4 stacks of flesh heap. And unlike Tall Balls, you can bet he's probably going to be buying that Ags. By the way, I talked to Tall Balls after the game. He said that his team told him not to buy the Ags. If you're on Grim Adventures, please don't ever say that again. If you're telling Pudge not to buy the Ags, you are wrong. I don't care what game you're in this current scenario, in this current patch. If you tell Pudge not to buy the Ags, you're wrong. Goodbye, Molsky.
That Ags is not only oppressively damaging, the size of the AoE makes it near impossible to get away from Pudge, because here's the answer to Pudge usually when you get hooked and ulted on. If you somehow survive that initial burst, congrats, you just hit him with a stun or slow, and then you just walk out of the AoE, you're typically safe.
Right.
But if he's got that Ags, and you're taking a ton more damage, and your regen is getting ticked on, and you don't have the extra distance to cross, like, or if you have the extra distance to cross like you don't normally.
And of
You're
course,
dead.
remember you're also still taking that base 32% move speed.
Yeah. Yeah, you are in, for better lack of a term,
Dire's top
hell.
tower is under
Right.
attack.
Uh-oh. Is this gonna... That's another good hook on Vex.
It was an interesting time for the
That-
Marcy throw.
Yeah, that didn't really help, but it still worked.
Ooh,
Pudge
Pudge.
profits here.
Pudge getting good use out of that. Pudge getting brilliant use out of that Hood of Defiance. Gets saved by it.
Might need to throw a safe
Still
hook
looking.
here. No, he doesn't have the mana
Is
yet.
under attack.
Now
He
he
just
does.
hit wand. Oh no, bro!
No!
Oh, that
That's
sucks.
okay. It's okay, Void Spirit's on it. Oh, no, he ain't.
Well, he's still on it. He's just not gonna
Dire's
live to
tower
see
is
it.
under attack.
Oh, that is
He really
a
isn't.
classic
Oh, the
miscommunication.
creep.
Yeah,
Nice dodge.
that is a very classic, very tragic miscommunication. If London does not pop out of that when he does, or if at least Vex is warned that he's coming out of it, then that's probably a double kill.
To be fair, though, it's one of those abilities, like, sort of like Rubik's telekinesis, where you've only got a split second to call it, and you just have to hope people are ready to react to it.
Right. Still a shame, though. Still very much a shame. I'm sure Vex is probably not pleased with that. But you know how it goes. Still, if there's one thing I will say I don't know if I agree with here. I don't know if I agree with the strategy to be constantly throwing people at the top lane. It seems to me like Pudge and the Marcy had this lane pretty much under control. Nice Stalker
Stalker's
throws
gonna
out the
die.
silent. That was not a necessary tombstone. That tombstone should not have happened. That's down for like 200 seconds, bro. Anyway,
I think they're gonna use it to push.
they're gonna use it to push, but it's not in tower radius. Like zombies aren't gonna be spawning if you
Dire's
TP. Even
top
like
tower is
here, I
under
think.
attack.
Well, here would be like okay, but like here, no. Anyway, as I
Dire's
was
top
saying,
tower has fallen.
they do successfully get the tower at least.
I think we're about to have some fun in bottom lane, I think. They're all grouping up here.
Yep, the entirety of Dire grouping up here at the bot lane to try and get something done here.
Dire's
Lena
middle
is
tower
doing
under
okay
attack.
for herself as far as the net worth chart goes, you can see here. She was in first place for quite a long time, only just recently dropped to second.
Dire's top
Yeah, not
the
far
Dire
behind
Core.
Sludge even.
attack.
The rest of the Dire Core are just not faring well. It's a very linear progression here.
Radiant are
Oh,
scanning.
there's that dreaded shovel.
I'm dreading just thinking about it.
Say what you will about its impact in short stints, but that damn thing can win games on its own.
It really can.
Its influence is subtle, it's insidious, but shovel,
Dire's
if you get
middle tower
lucky,
is under attack.
I'm just gonna tell you, I don't want to be that guy
Dire's
that's got an
structures
elk on the
are
enemy team with a shovel and he's lucky. That's all.
Right. Now, of course, what's going to happen is when it's you using
Ooh,
it.
here we go.
Yeah, this
Drow
we're going
is really in it now. She's
Yep.
gone.
Radiant's bottom
all in on
tower
Drow
is
here.
under
Probably
attack.
should not have sticked around the bot lane when the heat started turning up.
Yeah, when she saw the Death Prophet and Wyvern closing in, she should have thought to herself, maybe hit that TP scroll.
Radiant structures.
I wonder if it was off CD. I mean, it's obviously is now, but
No, I don't think it was. In fact, if anything, I think she didn't have a chance of escaping the moment that Night Stalker was in this lane, because that flying vision, death sentence.
right, yeah, Kai definitely
Dire's
there
middle
going
tower
on
is
instincts
under
of I'm
attack.
just gonna kind of wait here, TP, see what we can get, but now this is not gonna be good.
Crap.
Big pull comes out here.
Oh, that's a little bit of help. Is it enough? It is. That
Might
that
still
did
not
help.
be. Kai is gonna die. Let's
great.
see how much Vex can do.
Quite a bit.
Vex
No!
doesn't get. Oh no, bro!
Marcy, you can do this.
Well-
What are you doing?
Pudger's gonna get the kill out here. Night Stalker gonna go
This is
down.
a nightmare.
Has been killed.
Winter Wyvern is gonna try and TP from up here and does actually get out. It's a good tactical retreat on Winter Wyvern's part.
Unfortunately, the hooks were not off cooldown.
Yep. I think that was well played by Dragon Ball Zeus there. That was a good tactical retreat. They got exactly what they needed out of it. And even though they did lose the Night Stalker, it's daytime. A, it's daytime, so he's not losing night. And B, they got Drow and Undying for it, so who cares, lol.
Yeah, that's actually something really understated for Night Stalker. That's a little on the obvious side, but doesn't really get brought up. Is that any death you have during nighttime is, well,
It sucks. It totally
it's-
sucks. You hate your
it's a
life.
it's a massive loss of uptime, and you know how much I hate losing uptime.
Yeah, it's not good. Now, Rada here, when Rada respawned, literally the moment it respawned, it was nighttime. He chose to use this night to go get some farm, which ain't a bad idea. He is quite behind right now. He's actually only pulling just better than his support, Death Prophet.
Oh man, remember that patch where Night Stalker and Coddle both had Ags upgrades that gave them passive, like free terrain vision during day or night, respectively? Whew.
I
Man, am I
remember.
glad that's no longer around.
I remember back when when Coddle could just make day happen. That was funny.
Yeah, no, then they gave that to Phoenix, and honestly, it makes sense. But-
it
Actually,
was
we got-
really
we got a
funny back
handful
then.
Of,
to have
we got
it-
a handful of ults that changed
Ooh.
day-night for only a few seconds. Oh no.
Nope.
No, he got cold feet.
No, he didn't get cold feet. He
No.
just saw a different target. He saw food.
Ooh.
Good
Ooh,
defensive
nice
punch hook.
rescue. Phenomenal rescue. Oh, I am all for
And
it.
this is going to turn around really quickly here.
She chose the wrong person to beat up. Oh.
Did buy time for Night Stalker to take out the Tombstone.
Oh.
And that Tombstone was all they really needed. Drow still goes down.
Voice Spirit's here.
Let the Marcy follow.
I think that Undying might need to commit to this, whether or not he dies, because if he doesn't, they're all gonna die. Nope.
A little too late for that at this point, I think. London's actually going to commit, though. Takes out Night Stalker before he leaves.
That silence is absolutely brutal on him.
Oh no, bro!
He's gonna get Lena. Is this gonna turn into a two-sided 4-for-4? He's gonna TP off.
Drow's here!
Oh.
Drow gets a gust! Here comes
Oh,
Podge.
he
But
took
his
next
creep
moment
wave is in the worst spot, and Marcy started the TP just earlier. Oh no, bro.
I wouldn't
Nope.
say that was entirely oh no.
Nope. Boss smells trouble, gets out of dodge. Scotty? Nope.
He's on detection. They know him. They see him there.
He's on sentry, but he's not on observer.
I just realized that. Oh,
Good use of the silence by Death Prophet. Tombstone's still going to go up though.
They really want that tombstone. I'm just going to go in to try and stop. He's going to get Night Stalker for it.
Yep, he's going to get a
die
stack.
too. And dying can't stop himself from dying here. He has nothing to keep himself alive.
Interestingly,
It's all
no
on
little
cooldown, he
soul.
doesn't have- Yeah, that's really bold, but it's not enough.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Try Ranger going to fly.
Marcy
turnaround sequence.
split pushing a
Dire's
little.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, just getting the waves out to proper spots. Probably was moving, you know, moving in this sort of direction to try and get involved in the fight here. But the
Right.
fight did not last long.
Now for a favorite part of the game, we're here. What do you think
Radiant are scanning.
so their side right now? Because I
Dire's
feel like
bottom tower is under
it is something game changing.
You are cutting out a little bit. Could you repeat that?
Right. I was saying about the time near 20 minutes where we do a bit of an item hypothetical in some games, and I think it fits here. What do you think right now that Dire needs to turn this game around for themselves?
I think the
Any
Dire
one
has
item
turned
on
this
any-
game around for themselves in a good way. They've
Well, I mean, that
reestablished-
kill, those 4 kills at the top tower really helped,
Yeah.
but I think they need a little more to cement their actual advantage.
Ooh, that was
Especially
not
when
the
stuff
best
like this is
Wyvern ult.
happening.
Night Stalker
I
gonna
think
come
they
in
did that
here.
to buy time.
And Night Stalker going right for Kai. Going
Oh,
right
Void
there
Spirit got caught in silence.
He does not care though. Luna ult comes out, but it does not last long.
Pudge going fishing, but nothing's gonna bite today.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the team fight, Drow Ranger just puts a shot right through Lena's head.
Man, that
Takes her right
Death
out.
Prophet is hauling ass. She is getting out of dodge.
Blind Hook champion? No, bro, his team!
Everyone's moving in front of him. Oh, he has no blink. That hurts.
Yep, that's the biggest downside to the Ag Spudge. You have to go a long time without a blink, which makes matches like this, where your team is all going to be kind of one big cloud, you know, kind of makes that a tough proposition to get hooked
Dire's
sometimes.
courier has been killed.
Pudge is stuck in traffic this game, dude. It's just every time something's happening for him, he's just having to sit there honking, saying, "Get out of my way!"
You know, you just gave me like a hilarious idea for like a Pudge Persona cosmetic. Just Pudge in a little like tiny like undersized Disney car he just crammed into. Just got road rage.
Gonna take out the Dire stack here, which ain't great.
Dagger of Restore. Remind me, what does that thing do? I've heard
That's the mini
talked
armlet.
about fondly. Oh, that's scary.
That could
That's
be good.
actually insanely scary on a certain number of heroes, and of all of them, one of them's actually a Night Stalker, if I'm not mistaken.
Good move here to leave this stupid idiot alive. They're gonna have to kill him to get this
Yeah.
camp back open now. This is not
Are they
looking
gonna-
good for Lena. But Void Spirit, yeah,
Are they
there we
gonna
go.
collapse in on this?
Void Spirit needs to get out of the goddamn way, bro! Come on!
Ooh. Oh, I can tell you right now, if we can see their pings, I guarantee you London is getting a handful.
This is like the most traumatizing lane, like the most traumatizing game imaginable for Vex.
Yeah, let me tell you what their team view looks like right now.
You can't actually see pings. I bet it's vocal pings though.
Vocal pings, we call that swears.
Vocal pings.
Yeah, what if... Okay, hear me out. Dota's got voice commands. You have to yell out whatever ability you want to use, and even items like Blink Dagger and stuff like that. It's all controlled entirely by voice commands, and you have to shout "ping" at the top of your lungs every time you want to ping.
Bonus hard mode. You have to do an impression of the hero to get the skill to work. And
I
if
feel
the
bad
game
for anyone playing Phoenix.
if the game judges that your impression wasn't good enough, you don't use the skill.
Man, Phoenix, Io, and Primal Beast have got to be hell for that. Or Spectre. You're having a shoemaker.
Some UI bug.
Yeah, actually, I've seen a couple of people talking about that in a few different groups lately, that something's up with the UI and some of the old what do you call them? The UI HUD skins kind of break and they make things look weird.
Pudge has finished Ags for the
Are
record.
fortified.
I believe he finished that before the pause, but now seems like a good time to mention it. Pudge has finished
Wow,
Ags. He's gonna get really scary really
Speaking
soon.
of speaking of finished Ags, they are taking full advantage of the fact he has that, and they don't know it yet by going for a smoke gank.
Yep,
Lena has
smoking
even got a
over.
Shadow Blade and an Arcane Rune. Will they be able to
Molsky's
turn this around?
Molsky's gonna unintentionally find him going uphill here, but no, Dusty!
Oh, again, ulted.
Dusty's gonna lose basically his
Vex
entire life.
is gotta have a short fuse this game. Oh my god, it
man.
is. Oh, the Yules.
Oh no. I was gonna say it looks like it might not matter, but no, it super mattered there actually.
This was a horrible misplay on Marcy's part.
Dusty flamed again. I saw a ghost happen there. Somebody ghosted in some way. It was a scepter and or a okay, it's Void Spirit used as Ghost Scepter here. I gotta be honest with you, I don't think this is the game to try and defensively use the Ghost Scepter here, as seen by the fact that when you hit it, you immediately had a full Luna ult dropped on your head and died in seconds.
Yeah, that's not something that should be attempted easily. I really gotta say, though, that was really poor timing on the Marcy's part where Pudge is going for the hook. Like, there's just a few, like, common sense things you don't do, and stand on top of, next to, or in front of the Pudge is a big one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, nothing makes my soul wilt when I try to play Pudge, and then I see something like PL picked, you know? Or
Right.
Broodmother. Makes me die inside.
I will say, it's definitely looking like some, like I said earlier, some communication problems are happening for the Crusader Knights in this game, and they're hurting a lot. That last fight was such a rough loss, immediately let the Aegis go to Lena there, and that's not somebody you
Yeah,
want
that was, I think, another 2k added to their advantage for Dire. Ouch.
Yep.
Especially after that brutal early game where they had such a death grip on their throats. Like, this game was about to end, I think, but they stuck it out, and now they're only 2 kills off and 5k over, and they've got just not even 25 minutes. This game feels like it's been happening for almost 40 minutes, but it's not even half an hour.
Right. It's very, very much a slaughterhouse here. It's been almost to the point of 1 kill a minute in this game so far on both teams. Yes.
Well, I don't know if you count Roche as 2, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Roche has 2 kills, everybody. That's the new lore.
I'd say difficulty-wise, Roche is about as hard to kill as about 2 heroes in terms of like the resources you have to spend on average, unless you're Ursa. I mean, then again, Ursa doesn't really require a lot of effort to kill heroes if they just sit there and take it to the face. Another smoke gank here, this time on Dire's side, yeah. Oh no, Luna's got a BKB and she is ready to push that advantage, and we've got an E-Blade over on Void Spirit now too.
Void Spirit's finished his E-Blade, he's gonna need to use that offensively. Oh,
ooh, good reflexes, but
barely got out of there.
Yes. That sucks. That is a wasted ult. Uh-oh,
go for Marcy instead.
Nope, just barely caught inside the AoE.
Undying's gonna turn around.
Needs to run. He's gone.
Eat the gank.
This is a T2 that needs to be seated. They need to give up on it.
On one hand,
oh no.
Do they actually have detection for this? They do not. On one hand, yeah, this
really
is
good instincts.
This is all wrong. Hopefully now Dragon Ball Zeus looks and sees that, but if you're gonna kill Drow this game, you need detection. Anyway,
I feel like if they had waited a moment on and not hit the glyph up there and surprised Drow, they might have got her. But then again, without detection, nah, Mike. Oh no.
I don't know. I think wasting most of her drain there might be exactly what Pudge wants. Turns around, goes for the ult.
He expected it to BKB.
Yeah, that was great BKB timing.
This is a team fight out of nowhere.
This was
a shitstorm.
Bad mover and ult.
Well, BKBs were popped, 2 of them on Dire's side, and Pudge is still eating the full duration of VP's drain. Is she gonna... Oh my god, the damage!
By the way, meanwhile, London just randomly died somewhere else. I hope it wasn't he just randomly used Ghost Scepter. But here comes the problem, though. They didn't kill the person they really...
Now
Oh,
that you're dead,
God.
I find it easy.
They haven't been killing the one person on this team who super duper needed to die, and then that just happened.
And they
Drow...
And Lena was not able to use her Aegis there either, and it's about to expire. Ooh, that's bad.
Drow takes Godlike and becomes the top value core. Well, is now at least, you know, 1-to-1 with Lena here. Lena having to retreat here is going to give Drow a free minute to probably establish more of a tangible advantage. And
We're
it's
getting to see a consistent problem here. Undying and Marcy just don't have enough itemization between them to stay alive in these fights.
yeah, that is kind of the problem with both of these heroes. Both of these heroes are kind of pause 4s. You can play pause 5 Undying, but you need to be basically de facto pause 4. Undying it just has so little to offer in these fights because of both lacking in level and in XP, lacking in level and in money. That he just kind of
That's a quickening charm that just hit the table, and a Titan Sliver.
interesting stuff.
Oh boy! And not even a little bit ago, they also found that one of my favorite items out of the jungle, the Cloak of Flames.
Undying very, very easy to just go down in this game as a result.
Yeah, no, this
But-
man is Squish incarnate.
The question is, how much is it going to matter? How much is it going to matter if they can't kill Drow? She's died plenty of times, but those plenty of times happen mostly in lane phase or very early in the game.
I
She's
feel
not
like it's
died in
less that
quite a
they
while.
can't kill her because she's not even there. She only shows up to mop up or get any stragglers that decide to stick around too long, or someone at low HP is just in range of multi-shot and she goes for it. You know, it's a seafood diet. You see food and you eat.
Night Stalker drops dust, but on the wrong spot.
Just a little too soon. If you'd waited a moment.
I think he just genuinely didn't know where Drow was.
I appreciate the aggressive attempts at ganks here, but I don't think he could afford to be diving this deep, even with his ult up.
Well, he can definitely afford to be diving when all of his team is here. The problem is it needs to get something done. And I think that's the core issue with this team so far in terms of their strategy is getting something done.
Luna's
Sure,
already
this-
popped her Mask of Madness.
This team's got a hell of a lot of kills, and they've gotten a hell of a lot of space for themselves, but they haven't done anything off of either of those two facts. Why would Luna ever teleport right here, for example? That is a very odd
I
strategic
think they're
decision.
setting up for a defensive top tower.
They better not be. We don't have the Night Stalker ult. We do have the Death Prophet ult. We have a nearly dead T2 here bot, and this, you know, hell of a lot more important that this team gets towers than that they defend what they have. You mentioned it earlier. This team's all about the push. This team's all about
Exactly.
opening that T3 up.
Trying
you
to
know.
trying to force uphill attack or defense. They can handle either, honestly, with their setup.
Outposts trade hands. T2 towers trade hands.
I think the Dire's playing correctly, though. They're not giving Pudge the opportunity to just sort of fly in and kill everybody.
That's true. Quite the decision there to TP3 out did not do
And-
anything though.
This person's about to die.
Goodbye.
Yep.
Scotty removed from
Swift
existence, gets
and
tipped.
painless. They
Infernal
really want to
Blink.
continue to this chase. They're kind of split up and pushing in a little deep right now. No Ags on Luna though, so they're kind of safe to do so for now, I suppose. Honestly, if
Probably
Luna is
one of those-
allowed to reach Ags at any point in this game, I think Dragon Ball Zeus might just win on virtue of that Ags hurts.
Especially when you think about the fact that most of these guys have not been building magic defensive items so far. Void Spirit, in fact, is going the exact opposite direction, with an item that makes him easier to kill to magic damage.
Full of views on
SV,
top.
SV.
Uh-oh. There's the BKB hit. They're going
They
for
got.
crowd.
Oh no!
Misaligned hook. Good hook, but not succeeded.
But they just can't catch the Drow Ranger. And that's kind of getting to a problem that I mentioned earlier. Does not outdamage the Drow, though Drow's certainly going to outdamage the Void Spirit. Finally, a good Wyvern ult there. Good job on Wyvern's part.
Wyvern just spited him completely. It's like, alright, you know what? I'm taking my W and I'm leaving.
Yep.
That was funny. I like that.
That illustrated a problem that Dire's going to have for the rest of this game, which is when Night Stalker is no longer able to just right-click Drow and get a kill, they really don't have any ability to stop her, catch her, anything like that.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, a lot of people don't like the item on Night Stalker because he doesn't exactly need it, but I still say he's a hero that very much needs, like, Blink Dagger. Like, he's fast, I get it, but he's
a lot of
only
people
fast
do like
for
Blink Dagger. He,
50%
in
of the
fact,
time.
has Blink Dagger, and it's still not helping.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Dire are
I
scanning.
didn't even notice.
He's going for
Ouch.
Basher here. Honest to God, I think at this point... I was about to say Atos, but no, they have so much ability to reposition the Drow as well. They definitely made a good team around the concept of get Drow into a good position in fights.
Yeah,
because, like,
between-
even if you drop the Atos, you still have the hook, you still have Marcy's able to just throw you away.
In fact, I wouldn't say it's entirely out of reach of a couple of people on this team if they went for a Wind Waker just to make sure she has an extra layer of safety against Luna's ult.
She also has Hurricane Pike.
Oh no, man, that is...
Exactly what Night Stalker doesn't want to see. One of the best anti-Night Stalker items in the whole game.
Yes, honestly, same kind of item conceptual counter for girls like Ursa too.
Yep.
To a lesser degree, of course, but it's a painful thing to witness when a Night Stalker gets bullied.
By the way, your video player isn't freaking out or anything. That's just what happens now when you all tab out of Dota.
Radiant are
This is about to
scanning.
finish up a Manta style here.
Dire's top tower.
Not going to be much to dodge of the Manta style, but certainly having more Lunas in fights is going to help.
Brady went for a scan, seeing if anyone's going to try and stop their Roach attempt, but it isn't happening. I think now that hearing the global call-up, they might have an idea. Nah, they're staying well away from that.
Roshan has fallen.
And that's the worst imaginable thing, so Drow just got both Aegis and a free shard.
Remind
Oh
me
no,
what
she
the
already
does
had
again.
shard. That goes to Pudge, so now he has a big fat Vor ability. What does the Drow shard do? It makes this happen. Katie says it's the best shard in the game.
Stacking. Oh god, she has a point.
Cleaver's edge will never
Yeah, it's
die.
basically just like a required to exist shard for Drow. London is going really deep here.
God. That was probably the least advised uphill check I've ever seen.
Certainly got wiped. Undying just finished Greaves while this is happening.
London, my
gonna
man,
help
you
him.
get 9 hours of sleep last night? Shit.
Yeah, the London on Void Spirit's very good, but some of his tactical and strategic decisions this game have been kind of questionable.
I feel like it might
Unfortunately.
be due to some of the communications breaking down with some of the...
Maybe.
It's ever so slight, but all those little slight things start to build up after a bit, and it might be hitting him in his psyche a little.
Could be, yeah. Pudge was going for a Blink Dagger earlier, but decided he didn't need it after all, which is very interesting. I do think it would have come in handy in a few situations in this game.
I like the Shiva's purchase, though. I think that's good.
Yeah, it's gonna really hinder Luna, especially make the illusions
Luna,
pretty much
Luna,
worthless
It's
for
gonna
her.
hit Night Stalker and DP a little.
They're kind of alone, or Lena.
Man, he is going for it.
Neither of these people. Drow is kind of alone here.
Ooh, Marcy's going to evaporate.
Yeah, just getting completely wiped off.
Ooh,
Drow
good
takes the
ult.
Lena ult. Undying getting chased down here. Oh, but Night Stalker's gonna just completely eat it. Should not be in this position. Should not be.
With their-
Nope.
With their pursuit down, they can't keep up the chase. Pudge can't get a save unless he uses his shard. He's not going to, though.
Oh, but they do get her after all. And Wyvern stops the Pudge ult.
Stops the Pudge ult and uses it to time out his BKB a bit.
Radiant's
London's gonna
That
jump in
man
the
is
back
going
here,
in.
but
He is going in chewing. He is fearless. Oh, it's not
Back's
enough.
knocked out.
Man,
Pepperov
a
is
third
out
of their
of mana.
team. A third of their team is at like 10% health or less.
is under attack.
London at this point is just grabbing whatever bit he can to spite the enemy team.
Very good team fight effort there. There was one major issue. Standing where Drow was going to be able to knock herself to safety with the Hurricane Pike rather than into more danger, that wasn't great. Everything else about that...
Pudge being unable to
Very
use
good.
his shard there too.
Yeah. Pudge in
The
general is
Shard
very
could have
far out
bought
of the
just a
affairs here.
little bit of time.
Radiant's
Just that
top
little bit
tower
could have made a
is under
difference
attack.
with Night Stalker being dead. They do
Shiva-
have buyback, though.
Shivas is probably going to be the better option in the long term, but I do feel like Pudge losing out on the Blink Dagger in the short term has really been
Believe it
hurting
or
him a lot
not,
this
I
game.
think they would have liked an AC more.
Radiant structures
I see.
are fortified.
Maybe, but I think they needed a Blink
Well,
more than they needed either of those two things. Pudge has just
Very
been
true.
Pudge has just been finding it so hard to actually get up in anybody's face in this particular game.
I think we're about to witness that moment I was talking about in the earlier picking phase, where they're going to clear this T3, and you're going to watch their base evaporate.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They have the high ground off it. They have the high ground push going, and not a lot
Good
they
silence
can do
by
to stop it.
Rada. Night Stalker making a major mess in the middle of this fight. PKB's coming out on the former offlane though. Well, you remember what you said about not being able to stop it? Not so much anymore. In fact, Luna
Yeah,
already well fled the scene here.
Unfortunately, Wyvern got too close to the sun. The point of that entire push strat is to make sure Wyvern sticks in the back, so that the second they commit to any counter push, Winter's Curse comes out, and their whole effort is stopped dead in its tracks, and they just leave.
Pudge has decided to go for that
unfortunately-
blink after all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you didn't really need that Quelling Blade at nearly 40 minutes.
I mean, hey, it's better than no item at all, I guess.
I suppose that's true. I mean, I've seen games win over an Iron Branch being in someone's back pocket, so hey, what can I say?
Very interesting decision to knock that out over the stick.
Penta Edge, there we go.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
It's going to be pretty nasty for some of the people on this Radiant lineup. Potentially,
Dire's
anyway.
bottom tower is
Particular
under
old
think-
Marcy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Marcy might honestly need that more than anyone else right now.
attack.
Can also be kind of
Dire's
bad for
bottom
Pudge. I
tower
mean,
has
he's got that Titan Sliver, which is probably better. But, you know, one thing that you should definitely consider when you've got the Pudge Ags is making somebody even slower when they're inside your rot bubble really hurts.
Yes, it does. Uh-oh. Drow is a little confident. Is it for good reason? It sure seems to be.
That Night Stalker is immediately
Luna
gonna
gets
leave
here
his
just
man there.
a little too late to help. Well, we got the boys rolling in, but are they gonna be able to
Power
stop
Ranger
this?
gets broken, has to get back. Vex out front, tries to ult, but immediately gets silenced, and only then does the BKB come out.
Oh,
That was
the timing melts.
wrong target for that ult. Got the kill
It
though.
might work though, honestly, to keep the base pushed out.
Yep. Radiant are gonna walk away from this. So in that way, it
Yes.
certainly had some
London
success.
might not get away with this.
Have played your part.
London is
proceeds
getting caught
to
out a lot today.
Must be a bad day for him or something.
I mean, hey, you'd be surprised what an extra 2 hours of sleep can do for your gaming sense, you know?
Right. I like how we've kind of canonized this series now.
I don't know, you can kind of tell when someone's not playing their A game.
Luna, get to the push, please.
I was gonna say, interesting time
Luna?
to jungle when 3 of the 5 heroes are dead.
Luna. Come out and play, Luna.
Now, here's the thing, Drow's surviving a lot of these fights by just leaving the fight, and that's not ideal for their team, sure. But, they're not killing her in these fights either.
They ultimately are not going to go for the T3 in this
Ooh.
particular wave.
Timeless
Relic.
Relic. I love seeing that thing pop up when I'm playing a caster. Now,
What about sequels?
Sequels? It depends.
Really? I've always heard that you loved sequels.
I also hate sequels, but it depends on how good the sequel is.
Okay. Alright, everybody. Ocelot's official position on sequels. Loves them, hates them. Everybody got it?
Listen, alright? RoboCop 2, good. RoboCop 3, not so good.
What about
A sequel can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. Maybe
what
a
about
little of
Terminator 3?
both. It's one of those ones that's kind of in the between.
Really? A lot of people really hate Terminator 3.
It's got a little bit that's good about it, but it's not exactly glowing.
Huh.
Fire are scanning.
The more you know.
There's some good things to take away from 3. There's some interesting things that they say and change, and I'm not a big fan of it personally, but I can give something credit where it's due.
But you know,
you wanna know something that doesn't
compare it to
deserve it?
Terminator 1 and 2.
Oh no, compared to 1 and 2, it's not even a contest.
There you go.
I'm not saying that it's all. I'm not saying that it's good, like respectably good in a lot of senses. I'm just saying that it's got some things that it did right, and I liked it for it, but not much else.
Radiant
Got the
are
satanic
scanning.
on Luna here. One of these days, I'm going to say Luna's name right, and then I'll finally get all my caster cred back.
You know, I've not been seeing Butterfly bot a lot in Agi heroes in the last few patches. Is there a reason for that?
Oh, I don't. This is the wrong place for Luna to be. It's the
ooh,
BKB.
oh, no.
Can't stop. Can't
Did she
stop. Won't
accidentally
stop.
Did she accidentally click back on?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
And by the way, she also left a Havoc hammer for her team on the ground here.
Oh,
As a
that's
result of that.
bad. That's at least the enemy team didn't notice it, but oh, that's bad.
Yep.
You don't want to get. You don't want to see Pudge with that.
The good news is that the enemy team didn't see it and likely hasn't seen it. The bad news is it's really far in the enemy territory, and you just kind of very casually lost Luna for really no reason, who is now saying my bad in chat.
Yeah, they still have buyback. Lena's gonna do a bit of ratting to try and see if they can get some people to pull back, but it's just they're just gonna send this guy.
Yep.
Dire's structures
London's all you
are
really
fortified.
need.
Even sleep deprived, London can at least pull off good base defense.
DP out here going for Drow.
Very confident hit on that BKB. They're getting too bunched up. The burnout goes out, and they're gonna rip Pudge to shreds.
Well, they're gonna tickle Pudge's back anyway.
Radiant's
I don't know, I don't think that Wyvernal was worth the damage that they just lost over Drow, considering that Lena just got 8 in the background.
Oh, yep.
And now they're just gonna kind of lose, I think.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Here's the problem. They got Wyvern, but they don't have a good ult to back up
Dire's middle
Wyvern.
tower has
Well, I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I think really the one of the bigger problems here is what they lose from the Winter's Curse is pretty much the exact amount, or even sometimes
Dire's middle barracks are
the
under
opposite,
attack.
like the opposite of what you want. Even sometimes
Oh,
bad
God,
for
those
them.
hits.
Goodbye, Night Stalker, and goodbye.
I've always
Luna.
liked Drow as a hero just because of how hard you can hit.
I think the core issue has been the target this game. Scotty calls the G's, RG agrees, and we're getting out of here for game 1. That's the unfortunate thing. I think the big issue this game for the Dire was kind of the use of the Winter's Curse, which was their big team fight ult, really. Let's just call a spade a spade. What needed to happen this game? It needed to hit Drow. It needed to hit Drow or Void Spirit. Probably Drow. Really nobody else. But it felt like most fights, it was landing on top of Pudge. You did see the occasional use of it on the Void Spirit, and hey, that's good. That's what you want to see. But just too many times, it was just dropped on the Pudge or dropped on the Undying. Dropped on the Marcy occasionally, but it was mostly the 2 scary dead guys, and that was just no. Nope, that's not what you do with that hero. Pudge was never going to die in the Winter Vernal. Certainly wasn't going to die if he gets caught in that thing with Drow Ranger and lives. He's not going to die in that thing. He's just kind of the wrongest possible target. In that, not only does he not die, he's effectively wasting your own team's time by soaking up Death Prophet ult time, by soaking up, you know, Night Stalker nighttime, right? By soaking up Lena having her passive up, right? Because, you know, that fades over time. Just a very unideal game for Winter Revern here, and I don't think she played it to what she needed to do in this game. But I think ultimately, in fairness to Molsky, I think that did kind of come second to this. This is a great Drow Ranger game. This is everything you want in a Drow game. Her own team has so much to protect her, so much to reposition her, so much to help her out in basically any scenario. And in contrast, old Luna really just doesn't have anything going for her here. Once the BKB started coming out. And here's the sad thing. Void Spirit didn't even need the BKB. One of their main cores did not buy BKB this game, and Luna still just felt like she just never had that much of an effect. And that's just the curse of Luna? I don't know.
if the hero in question that you're trying to hit with Luna's ult has the ability to just dash out of it, it might as well not exist.
Right. Dash out of it, hit BKB through it. I mean, you're playing
Now,
a
if Luna got that stun trait or whatever, then maybe, but that's way too late to rely on.
Right. Yeah. Also, Death Prophet into the game with more net worth than Night Stalker, which is honestly bad. Like, Night Stalker just did not have enough money this game. He's fallen off so badly. He has the same net worth as Marcy. He's lower leveled than the Death Prophet. He's basically this team's pause 4 in this particular match. And that is not a good fit for Night Stalker. This is not a hero who's going to be able to make a lot out of not much. Like, he doesn't need pause 1 money, but goddamn does he need more than this, because you can see what happens if he doesn't. He either gets to sacrifice living or gets to sacrifice damage. This game, he tried to sacrifice living, and then he tried to sacrifice damage. He ended up just ending with a BKB and a Blink Dagger, and buddy, that means that what happens is he gets up into Drow's face, and then he gets Hurricane Piked, and then he dies.
Hey, I'd like to put out something little slightly funny to me. Look at Vex's XP per minute.
Oh my god. Oh my god! See you in next game!